Where are you staying?
Well, I'm looking for a hotel.
Could I give you a hint?
Well, sure. Right.
Jim, this is Mr. Williams. He's just in from North Bay. I said we'd drop him off at his hotel.
Help yourself to a drink.
No thanks.
You sure Jim won't come up for a couple of minutes?
It'll cost 15.
What?
It'll cost 15.
What'll cost 15?
I do. That's what I charge. 25 includes the best massage you've ever had.
What the hell are you talking about?
Come on. Don't give me the runaround. I give you ecstasy. Best in the city. I don't like games. You could get into deep trouble teasing like this.
Let go of my arm.
What happened to you?
I picked the wrong guy.
Well, there's always me.
Come on, let's beat it before somebody finds him fast.
I'd say quite a few hours.
Hotel says he registered last night at 11:05 under the name of Aubrey Williams, the salesman, from 63 Lakeshore Road in North Bay. We're verifying this. The desk clerk doesn't remember anyone being with him either.
When did they find him?
When the chambermaid came in to make up the bed this morning. We've got a few fingerprints.
And he must have hit his head against the corner of the dresser. The gash doesn't look too bad. We'll take him down and do an autopsy on him.
He found his wallet under the bed, no money in it. If he's a salesman, he has no samples. And I can't think of any company that would want its people to stay here.
One other thing we're checking out is a two-car pileup outside the hotel at 11:25 last night. Seems that one car pulled out right in the path of another. Two people are in the hospital, and the kid driving the car that pulled out is being held. He's just shaken up.
Mr. Allenbury's office. May I ask who's calling, please? Just one moment. Mr. Allenbury, Mr. Bateman on line 1.
Honey, good morning.
Morning, George. Got a murder for you. Sounds pretty straightforward once they catch him. Could be manslaughter, but talk to Brown, will you? He's handling it. Say, you have time for 18 this weekend?
Well, I'll try. Bob's having a cross-country run. It's the last meeting before they enter varsity at Montreal.
Okay. Talk to Brown sometime.
Will do.
The gash in his head was deep, but not serious. Bad enough to make him unconscious. His jawbone was broken. He lost 3 teeth, and the inside of his mouth like he was bleeding. The way he fell with his head propped up against the dresser meant that the blood ran down to his throat. And he choked to death.
So if he had fallen face down, he might have lived.
That's right.
Well, I'm going to work on this kid. The prints in the hotel room match those we found in the car. Kid comes from a good home, but he's not saying a word. There's a previous conviction for car theft, I see. His father brought in a lawyer, too.
This Williams fellow was pretty straightforward. He sold brushes and floor polish. His wife says he was in town to pick up some more samples. Clean record, just picked the wrong day to come.
Why'd you take him here?
To make a buck?
What do you mean to make a buck? You're going to roll him?
Look, he's a score, you know?
No, I don't know. You tell me, huh?
He invited us up to his room. We thought he was clear. One of us would go in and for $10 or maybe 15.
Sell yourself to him?
Yeah. But I didn't go in. I waited in the car.
Your father know that you get involved with homosexuals?
No.
Where does a kid your age learn this?
Been to reform school. I used to get little extras, you know, cigarettes, money. I didn't know he was going to hit him. We just thought he was a regular score. I didn't even know about it until he came out to the car.
Okay, Jim. Who's the guy who hit him? What's his address?
Art Morrison, 23 Lambton Street, 2nd floor.
Yesterday at 12:23.
Yeah, I know. It's too many late nights.
Come on, let's start walking. I'm gonna get a cold.
You know, you must be crazy coming out here every morning just to sit on a stool and watch me run.
Someday, when you're a really big name, I'll be able to say, I was his timer when he was a nobody. Besides, it's the only time I get to see you for any length of time anyway.
Come on, I'll drive you back to the residence. Nut.
It's almost 7:30. Bob will be back from his training any minute.
Thanks, darling. Deborah come in?
Not yet. Breakfast in 5 minutes?
With 68 degrees, going to a high of 82. This is CFJB. It's 7:30 and time for the news from the CFJB newsroom. Stuart Andrews reporting. First, the headlines. The Defense Committee discussing new fighter planes for the RCAF NATO force presents its recommendations on the proposed CF-212 jet fighter. 4 Viet Cong losses are reported from War Zone G in Vietnam. In the city, the search continues for 22-year-old Arthur Morrison, wanted by police in connection with the death of 53-year-old Aubrey Williams, a North Bay salesman whose body was found yesterday in a downtown hotel. Now the details.
Are you in court today, dear?
Yeah, 10 o'clock. Open and shut robbery with violence. Today's your big sister, Kate, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. I'm serving from noon till 2 o'clock. We're hoping to make $500 this time.
Sounds like a robbery to me.
Hi, Dad.
How'd it go?
Not bad. It's getting warm.
Did you concentrate on your hill work? It's the sprint uphill that wins the races for you, you know.
No, I did laps around the park. Thanks, man.
Hey, what time is your first class?
9.
Well, you better hurry up and shower.
Oh, by the way, can I have your car after practice today? We're all going out for dinner tonight.
Sorry, I need it. Shower fast.
Okay.
I think you drove him there knowing full well Morrison was going to roll him. The fact he happened to kill him doesn't seem to bother you much, does it? Well, it should, because you're just as guilty as he is. Take him back.
He giving you a tough time?
Ah, he's one of those young idiots caught up in it. I don't think he knows any more about it than I do.
I see your finest are having a little trouble catching up with Morrison.
We'll find him. He's probably hiding out with one of his queer friends. Seems he stole about $150. William's wife was in to speak to me last night.
Yeah, they're taking the body back today.
I've got a picture of Art Morrison. Quite a muscle guy, 180 pounds. Apparently a regular hustler on the bus station.
How long can I stay here?
Oh, it depends.
On what?
Oh, on your plans. Money, risk. What are your plans?
How should I know? It's not every day I'm wanted by the police.
For murder, that is.
I didn't mean to kill him. You made a fool of me, Harry.
So you killed him?
Knock it off! I didn't hit him hard enough to kill him.
You're a big man. How's your drink? We have all day. Where'd you get the gun?
I've had it a long time. I went home and got some money in the gun. It makes me feel good.
What about the kid?
Oh, he's okay. He just acts tough. He's a good kid.
It's usually the way it is. Perhaps we'd better talk business. I am involved a little.
All I have is 300.
I want to rob you. I'll be honest, you don't stand a chance. The cops will nail you eventually. Now, if you stay here, it'll cost you. If you want to leave now, I won't charge you for the Band-Aid.
Thanks a lot. And where the hell do I go?
Well, you've got 3 days to think about it. Why don't you rest now? I'll call you in time for dinner. You like your martinis well chilled?
Same again, sir?
Yeah, scotch and water, please. Is it always this quiet?
No, sir. Fridays and Saturdays, it's packed. Enough ice?
Yeah, it's okay. Has Art been in lately?
Art?
Art Morrison, I'm told he's a regular.
Must be some other place. I've been here 5 years. Art Morrison.
My heart would realize that our romance is true. I'll never love again. I'm so in love with you. I'll never thrill again to somebody new. Within my heart, I know I will never start to smile again until I smile again.
Let's sit down.
And I drive and I'm reckless, it's true, but what else can you do at the end of love affair? So I started.
What's his name again?
Morrison, Art Morrison.
Don't know him. Now, I want you to understand, if I did, I'd tell you. He's not a member of this club. We try to avoid hustlers and their like. This is a good operation, and we cooperate with the police, and they leave us alone. Ask Inspector Davis. Just wait a minute.
And I drink too much, and the tunes I was the ones where the trumpet blares. So I go on a madly face, and I pretend everything is safe. But what else can you do at the end of a long
Okay, what's the word?
He's the secretary of the club. Says he's seen the face, but he's definitely not a member.
Is there anybody else who might know him?
I doubt it. I doubt it very much.
Why?
Well, this club is too important to jeopardize by taking in people who will do it harm. He must realize, Mr. Brown, that most people won't accept a club like this.
Well, we've all got our problems. Just tell me if you know him.
Well, I'm trying to. You probably don't understand that these men have nowhere to go. The laws don't help.
You're lucky you got this. Look, I want this kid, and this is a place he's likely to come.
Sure, well, leave his picture, and if we see him, well...
Right.
Okay.
Can you get the door for me? Yeah, fine.
See you tomorrow, then.
Good
night, Lynn.
See you.
Hey, don't forget your purse.
Hey,
Bob, we'll wait
I'll
for
phone
you.
about it, okay? Great. I'll talk to you later.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see you
No
tomorrow.
problem.
Okay, be good. Bye-bye.
See ya.
Well, that was a gorgeous evening. I love pizza.
I can see that.
You should have gone with them, you know.
No, the bus ride will do me good. It bugs me when I can't get the car.
Well, you should get an old car for your own, like Jim has.
My father won't let me. He says getting my mother's car now and then should be enough. On top of which, he says if I can't afford to run it, he's not going to subsidize it.
Well, then you should have worked last summer instead of water skiing.
I did, for a month. Anyhow, he says he's seen too many kids in court after accidents in old cars like that.
It's too late for you to come in, you know.
Of your nose. Your cheeks. You look gorgeous sitting there with that stopwatch. Just a flash of color as I go past.
Put in the back, please. May I help you, sir?
Carton of Royals.
Carton of Royals. What would you like, please? Small one or king size?
King size?
King size, here you are. King size, thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much.
Hey, you!
Order 11, pursuing suspect on Young at York.
Friend says you were hustling, eh?
I want to see a lawyer.
All in good time, my friend. record, eh? Car theft in 61. Pimping in 64, huh?
I want a lawyer.
I find your type fascinating, you know? What makes you that way? How come you can't make it with women, eh?
I get what I want when I want it.
Pimping? Sit down. I've got it all here, boy. Prints from the car, the hotel, your apartment, they all match. How'd you get that?
I want a lawyer.
A lawyer won't do you any good. By the time I'm through with you, you'll be swinging. And with any luck, the friend you left holding the bag.
If I make this, I get tired.
Life says you don't. Too bad, Steve. All right, George. You might as well tap yours in.
Come on, give it to him.
Oh, all right. So give me, George. Here you are.
Mr. Bateman, please. Telephone. Mr. Bateman, telephone.
Let's see you inside. Order me a tall gin and tonic, will you?
What's the bad news?
Arnie got an 85. He got a 87. I got a 92. My God, that's the first time I've been over 90 in 2 years.
Can't even take an afternoon off without being bugged. Well, they picked up that Morrison kid, you know, that hotel murder case? Brown's charged him.
You got an 85.
Right?
You gonna eat here?
Not me. I'm going home to cut the grass.
How's that kid of yours, anyway?
Oh, he's doing pretty well. Got an into varsity soon. Stands a good chance.
Good-looking kid.
Just like his father. Yes?
Dad, there's a man to see you, a Mr. Richards.
Show him in.
George, very nice of you to see me. Sorry it's so late in the evening, you know how it is. May I sit down?
What do you want?
Almost to the point, eh? How's the family? I see your son is doing very well with the cross-country running. Never appealed to me, far too energetic.
What do you want? It's late.
George, I need your help. I did some snooping around today, and I found that in the case of Regina versus Morrison, well, you'll be prosecuting on behalf of Regina. Morrison is a very good friend of mine, you know. And I'd like to see him helped, and I thought you might do it for me. Like reducing the charge to manslaughter, or even better, dropping it entirely for insufficient evidence. You know, self-defense or something.
You're committing a criminal offense right here. I suggest you leave before I call the police.
All right, George, I'll stop horsing around. I want that kid off, and you're just the boy to do it.
How the hell can we press a murder charge with evidence like this?
Look, he killed him while he was committing a criminal act. And I've got evidence to prove he went there to commit sodomy.
That might have been his intent, but he didn't commit it. And we'll have a hell of a time to prove the intent.
I've got a witness.
Kid with a record, who's not likely to sink himself at the same time. On a murder charge?
It's murder, and we can get a conviction.
Haven't you read the coroner's report? The defense will point out that he was attacked by Williams with a table lamp. They have a cut to prove it. They will point out that Morrison hit him in self-defense. The coroner's report clearly says that he was hit only once. It also states that he died in a freak manner, not directly from the blow. When Morrison left, he was out cold, but he wasn't dead. I'm sure Morrison didn't intend to kill him.
Are you a prosecuting attorney or a defense lawyer?
Both. I have to decide if we have a solid case to proceed on, and that we don't look like the rear end of a horse. What have you got against this man?
He's a queer, hustling punk. and society would be well rid of him.
Well, unless you come up with something else, and frankly, I doubt it, I'm going to reduce this to a charge of manslaughter.
Green dress. Well, she took it up about 3 inches. It looks beautiful. No. No, I'll give you her number and you can get in touch with her. She's cheap, too. Listen, I must go. I hear something. My God, it's a sink. Oh, no. Damn. Hello.
Hi, babe. Glad I caught you.
You caught me. Don't worry.
Look, I don't want to interrupt, but I won't be able to look at that chair with you this afternoon.
Oh, Steve.
I got a lunch appointment.
Really, with wine and a parfait?
Of course. How did you know?
Oh, Steve.
See you for dinner. Macaroni and cheese.
How much is it?
25.
Now, what is this you're after?
Oh, I've got enough for a murder charge here. Attempt to commit a criminal offense, robbery. So I just wanted to recheck. Could he have been kicked after he fell to the floor? Was it just one blow?
Everything was consistent with the one blow in the cheek. Plus, the wound on the back of the head was caused by falling against the dresser.
Was he hit after he fell to the floor?
What do you think we do in that autopsy room anyway? A casual snow job?
Say you've got enough evidence. What's the panic?
You think we can make it stick?
That's up to you.
Exactly. It's also up to Allenbury. I think he's doing the snow job.
If you've got a personal beef with him, sort it out with him. Don't come here to me maligning him just because you're unsure of your case.
I'm sure of my case. It's Allenbury who wants to reduce this charge. Let's get one thing straight. I've got the evidence. It's his job to prosecute.
Could you get a murder conviction?
Non-capital, possibly. Manslaughter, definitely.
I don't understand what's eating Brown. I thought you guys worked hand in hand. Look, George, he's suggesting that you're trying to throw the case. It's serious.
Steve, you look after your autopsies. I'll do my job.
I just didn't want to see you get hurt, that's all.
Steve, I won't be prosecuting anything unless it's manslaughter. Steve, I'm being blackmailed to reduce the case. Unless it's manslaughter, I'm ruined.
What the hell are you talking about?
I'm a homosexual, and he's threatened to expose me.
I don't know what to say.
Sorry I had to tell you. You horrified?
Well, I'm a little surprised.
I'm almost going out of my mind. He's got me so where I can't move.
Well, is this something new?
Not really. It started at university years ago. I got involved with a friend. Didn't last long, except my father found out. He'd have nothing to do with me after that. I realized to get on, I'd have to conform, so I did.
And when did it start to go wrong?
I'd been married about 5 years. I had a nervous breakdown. The doctor put it down to pressure in business. I was confused and I lapsed back into my old ways for 18 months. It was going on and off for over 20 years, Steve.
And your wife? Doesn't suspect anything?
No.
Have you had any treatment? Psychiatrist?
Once, before I was married. I went to a family physician years ago when my father was finished with me. He was horrified. He said I was sick. Should be in a mental hospital for abnormal people.
And what about this man, this blackmailer?
I met him 3 years ago at a party. I got a little drunk. I went to his apartment. I was only there twice. Jean finds out. Oh, Bob. It's funny. Bob's always looked up to me. We get along well. He's doing well in school, as you know.
Well, you let me handle Arnie. What else could he do? He's being blackmailed.
Oh, so you just said. When the police come to me with a complaint like that, I can't ignore it.
You know why Brown's so hard to convict. He's a bigot.
Oh, for God's sake, Steve, he's just doing his job. And at least he's normal.
Come off it, Arnie.
I'm sorry. Can't help it. They just make me feel funny.
They make you feel funny.
Yes, they make me feel funny. Especially a man like George. We played golf together for years. We belong to the same health club.
So you're not going to help me?
Help him? How can I help him?
I thought we were going out to play bridge.
Wait a minute, honey. What does the criminal code say about sodomy?
Section 147. Anyone convicted of buggery is guilty of an indictable offense and liable to 14 years imprisonment.
Steve, please.
So give him help. Give him 14 years in the pen. It's a lot of help, Arnie.
Jean! Jean, I have to talk to you. Jean! Why aren't you here? Where's your mother?
She's at one of her meetings. What's the matter with you?
Nothing.
But how could he possibly do it? Deceiving his wife that way. Being involved with another man and being married.
It happens.
Yeah, but how can he tell her that he loves her? I'll take that. How can he make love to her?
I don't know. Psychiatrists can't agree whether it's normal or abnormal.
Have you ever had any abnormal tendencies?
All the time.
Hi, Bob. How's it going? You remember me?
Yes, Mr. Richards. You came to see my father the other evening. Are you interested in running?
Not really. You might say I'm interested in people. I've heard you're good.
Not bad.
That's why I came here this morning. I want to talk to you.
What about?
I want you to understand that I'm interested in you and your future. I believe you're doing well at the university. You're running. Things look pretty good. I don't want that ruined or you to be harmed.
How would I be harmed?
By your father.
Why?
He's a sick man. You must understand him. He needs your help.
Why?
Because he's a homosexual.
My father? Why would you say a thing like that?
Let go of me. Don't fight me because it's true. I tell you it's true. You could be like it too.
Why don't you take the day off?
I can't. I have too much to do.
Must have been quite an evening. I gotta get Bob's eggs ready. Oh, you're early. I haven't even... What's happened to you?
What happened?
I got into a fight.
A fight? What's the matter?
Dad, he said you were a homosexual.
Who said so?
That man who was here. Richards. He was in the park this morning.
What did he mean?
Why would he say a thing like that?
Because it's true. Gene.
You must be kidding.
No. I must see your mother. I want to talk to both of you. Gene.
What did he mean?
Years ago, I had a relationship with this Harry Richards. It wasn't really a relationship. It just happened. I was drunk.
You must have had...
I've had the tendencies for years, but never seriously. It wasn't really normal for me. It just happened and then went away. He came this week and threatened to expose me if I wouldn't reduce the murder charge on one of his friends. I would have told you last night, but you weren't home. Hello?
George, Arnie. I just wanted to tell you that it looks like a reduced charge after all. Can you see me in my office at 2 o'clock?
Yes. Thanks, Ernie.
All these years. How could you? How could you have used me? Don't come near me. I can't help you.
What is going on?
Come in, Bob.
Leave him alone. I'll handle this. Bob.
Your father isn't the man we thought him to be.
I've been a good father and a good husband.
Another woman would have been bad enough.
I'm sorry, Bob.
Where are you going?
Out. I'm taking your car.
You're to leave the car here.
I'm taking it. I have the keys.
George, stop him. You're his father.
Take the car, Bob. Drive carefully. Why didn't you let me explain to him?
You always said be honest. Answer his questions. So I did.
Look, Dad, we've got to talk. You said you wanted to, and I just couldn't face you at home.
Can I get you anything?
It's coffee, please.
How about you, sir?
Nothing. Can you face me now?
I don't know. I bought a book about it. It's very confusing.
They always are. Even the experts have different points of view.
I've known you for a long time. Sounds funny, doesn't it? Yet I don't feel I can despise you for something I don't understand. Every time I think...
Your father's a queer.
Yes. Every time I think of it, I think of you at cross-country meets, fishing, at parties. I think of you as a father. Yet somehow I feel I should despise you for it.
Bob, I don't want to crawl to you to win over your feelings. You have to make up your own mind. I'm asking a lot of you, but I want you to try to understand. I've seen lots of families broken up. Men go to prison. Some of them are guilty, and often I can see why. There are lots of reasons why people steal, become alcoholics. Wives, pressure of business, jealousy. Things often go wrong, but not always for obvious reasons. Some people are homosexuals. It's not a crime. It's just the way they are.
I know. At least I think I do. But he said I could become one.
Good God.
Level with me. Can I become one because of you?
Shh.
Will you answer my question, please?
I don't know, Bob. I don't think so. I'm not asking your approval for what I've done. But I love your mother. I have for over 20 years. And when I say love, I mean everything. We created you. And if all that's thrown out, then nothing in life is worthwhile. I want to warn you, Bob. You'll make mistakes. And if people judge you, I hope to God you have someone to fall back on.
Why the hell didn't you let me know as soon as he contacted you? Well, I know why. We could have done something. Problem is Brown has put this through right to the top. His evidence is pretty thin, but there's enough to go ahead with.
Brown is a determined man. He has an obsession to convict.
Look, George, I'm sorry. But I've got to have your resignation. You know the situation. If this leaks out to the press or the opposition, they'll make mincemeat out of us. We can't take the risk of keeping you on. If there anything I could do, I would. If the final decision were up to me, I'd be willing to forget the whole thing. I understand your problems. But they don't. All they want up there is a steady ship. Anything that might backfire has to go.
Well, how are you going to get out of here without anybody seeing you?
Doesn't matter.
You're awfully quiet.
I'm sorry. What's wrong?
Nothing. Really. It's just that you look sort of different tonight.
What's the matter?
Well, nothing's wrong. You look kind of yummy.
I wanted to come here tonight, to be with you. I almost didn't. I had nowhere else to go.
Well, thanks.
George. Come in. Well. What would bring a straight man like you to a place like this? Uninvited.
I came here to talk to you.
Well, come on in, have a drink. It's like old times.
I don't have time.
Oh, come on. Everybody, it's my friend George. Scotch for my friend. What's on your mind?
I can't talk to you with all these people.
These are my friends. What do you think of the party? How do you like my paintings, George? Henri does them all. He came from Montreal about a year ago. How do you like this one, George? Henri's work. He's a very sensitive and perceptive man. He sees life in its real form. He calls this one the death of Venus. George, Henri, why don't you two get together and talk about the painting? Welcome home, George.
I want to talk to you.
All right. I'll get us some drinks. Cigarette. Recognize it? A little gift you gave me in '64.
You've achieved everything you set out to. I just wanted you to know. It's probably strange to you that I love my wife and my son.
Oh, come off it. It was a front. All respectable people need a front.
You'll never know what you've done. To you, it means nothing. To me, it's the end of the road.
It's not the end of the road. It's the beginning of a new life where people understand you.
You don't understand any more than the others. You despised me when I went straight. They despised me for this.
Well, then you better sort yourself out, hadn't you? I know where you belong. So do you. Why fight it? We know what we want. Look at your married life. Look at any married couple. Flight 701 departs every Saturday night at 11:30 local time. That's what you want? Fine. We don't play at life. We belong. Otherwise, we'd be out there with all the others, lost and not knowing why.
I'm lost, and I know why.
George, you must be going out of your mind. Put that down. Give me the gun.
Sit down.
Look, George, I wouldn't have told anybody. They wouldn't have believed me, a man in your position. Look, the kid didn't mean anything to me. He was going to pay me for trying to get some help. I knew you wouldn't go for it, and that would have been that. I would have completed my part of the bargain. You had nothing to worry about. After all, who's Arthur Morrison?
Why did you have to tell my son?